In this demo, we'll be looking at built-in Dataverse AI environment functions and those properties where you could use in your Canvas apps to utilize some of those functionalities that's available out of the box. Some of them are classification of data, translating a text from various languages, and using AI for generating a slick message when you wanted to respond to your customers or partners or your management team. Plus, there's also sentiment analysis. This is pretty different from the AI Builder or AI Hub models that's already available. This is using the environment function within the Dataverse. You definitely need to have a premium license to have this working. With AI Hub, you would still need the premium license with AI Builder credits available to generate those apps. We will see a little bit about that, but this demo is going to be more in depth into the Dataverse AI environment function. I have some pretext in here, and what we could do is we could delete this, and then we can start this demo from the beginning. As you can see, there's an input text field, and there's an AI summarized text, which would be generated using the AI summarize functionality. I have copied the prompt, which has 304 characters, and which is a lengthy document about GPT-4o release. And if I have to summarize that for a quick understanding and readable access, I would use this functionality. Of course, there's various other benefits of using this summarize AI function. Typical cases would be what you see here right now. From a large blog, you could take the very key important text that you wanted to. Plus, you could also use this for creating journals and when you write your blogs or white paper, and when you wanted to receive the content in a shorter format, this is particularly very useful. As you can see on the left side, the original text had 304 characters, and after using AI Summarize, it's trimmed down pretty much to half of that. The next one in the demo would be sentiment analysis. This is pretty straightforward when you have a case where a customer says the quality of your service. It provides you the sentiment with positive, negative, and neutral. Pretty much what you would have used using the AI Hub Builder. We'll come to that, as a short, sleek look at what's the difference between this particular functionality and the one that's provided by Microsoft in AI Hub Builder. So this is straightforward. The AI sentiment function would quickly, read through the input text and gives you the end result on the sentiment. The other one is all about translating a language. I could pretty much use the same one that we used as a prompt. In this case, you wanted to translate from English to any other um, foreign language, from French, German, and Italian, and AI would translate that for you. This is pretty much using the AI translator that's available in Azure, plus also available in AI Hub model as well. And this one is all about how you could write a professional message to the customer after getting feedback. We could take some of those prompts. This is a prompt page, by the way, and copy paste that one and use this function. And the AI would generate the message when you get a response from customer, which is really bad. And it gives you a template on how you could really write with empathy, right? And of course, you could change this, edit it as per you want to, but the key functionality here is the AI gives you the better response so that you could use that for the customer reply. And we could also have one which says the service was good, and we go back here, we look for the AI message function, and it gives you a different response. So this is a pretty good feature which is inbuilt within Dataverse function. And now I'll go into the edit mode and show you how this was built. And this was built pretty quickly and pretty easily. For example, if I'm here on the AI message function screen, and if you look at this, there's a button, of course, there's a prompt. But the key thing here is there's an input text and then a label to get this output. So the only function that you need to write here is create a environment variable called var AI message or anything for that matter. And you need to call this particular AI function from the environment entity. And that's all it to it. And once you call that, you kind of take this input, as you can see here, and then you provide that as an output here in the label. In here, you would call that variable that you created, and then uses pre-text prepared response. Before doing this, you need to have connected to this particular entity here called environment, and that is where we're pulling these detail. And to make it much simpler, what we could do is we could pretty much quickly build something similar to show you how this one was built. And likewise, if I go to the sentiment analysis, if we look at the function that was used, you're just calling the built-in function AI sentiment and saving it in a variable. And that's it. And then you display that over here on a label as a analyze sentiment output. For example, let's create a blank screen and then let's see how to build this quickly. And I wouldn't build all of these UI and all that stuff, just a very blank screen to showcase how it is possible pretty quickly and to build using the built-in environment data AI function. Like I said, what you need is a text input for the user to provide the respective input that they wanted to um, analyze or have the language translated or summarized, whatever feature that you wanted to use, just create a text input. The other one is an output, which would be a label where you wanted to put those output after the AI functions are generated. And then finally, you need a button, and that is where you would write the function to call those AI function, right? So we do have a button, a label, and a text input field. And once you come here, and this is where you would write this function where you wanted to call that environment function, which has the AI features. So you would create a variable, and the variable could be anything that you wanted to. Just make sure that you name it properly so you could reuse it. I'm going to say that as where AI demo for now, because I'm not going to save this one. And then this is where you would be calling those function environment dot. Once you do the environment dot, as you can see here, there's classify, extract, reply, sentiment analysis, summarize, translate. And these are the functions that is built in. And that's exactly how this app was built, calling those functions on each of those screens to showcase the sentiment analysis, summarizing of record, translators, and stuff like that. For now, we could use sentiment analysis as just as a demo, but you pretty much would come here and use all the other functions to make use of those, those capabilities, right? And this is just one sample. Of course, you could create the rest of it yourself as well. Now you just need to call this into the text label, and that pretty much would, is all required. And then the output would go into the output label that we have. In this case, it would be text input 3. That is what we have. Three, and then I do a dot text. And you close with the curly braces, and then a normal brace, and then a curly braces, and then a normal one. So we have saved a function or a variable using this environment.ai sentiment text, which is fed into this particular box. Now, when we click on this, this would activate it, but the output should be displayed in a label out here, right? So here, all you have to do is call that variable that was created, which was AI demo dot analyze sentiment. So once you do the dot, the variable would read through it automatically and tell you what is the output looks like. And that's pretty much it. And you could replicate the similar ones for various other functions, right? Now I would go to my prompt screen and I would copy, go on a play mode. I would copy this particular prompt And then we would go to the test app. We will go on apply mode and we will input that. Let's make this multi-line so it's clear for the readers. And then click on this button. And the output, it says negative because the customer is saying it's a very bad product and bad services. So this is just one example on how you could use the AI functions within the environment entity. Now, like I said, all you have to do is, after the environment dot, you would have various other functions that gets listed, and you keep creating those screens and app, and that's how easy that it is to quickly build on the app using the inbuilt function. Now, the other way that we used to build this similar app is coming to the home page, and we would use the AI model. And as you can see here, there is a sentiment analysis, which is also another way to build it. This is going to consume AI builder credit, and pretty much, you would go here and create the app, and the Power Apps would do everything for you by creating those UI and screens and the input and output stuff. But this is using the AI hub, and so I'm just showing the other way that we've been developing this in the past as well, which uses the AI model built-in trained AI model in the Power Apps. So that's another way to build it. As you can see here, this is one way to build this sentiment analysis app. So these are the two different ways where one could build. This is using the AI Hub and AI Builder, where you can get the scores and stuff like that, and a pretty looking UI. And the other one is, like I just demoed, you could build one using the AI functions within the environment variable. And that's pretty much to it to this particular demo. I hope this was insightful.